Hello everyone. So in the previous video we studied about the various components of the blood circulatory system. We studied about heart, which is acting as a pump. We studied about the blood, which is acting as a medium of transport, which transport the various substances in the dissolved state, and also along with the blood cells. And we have studied about the three different type of blood cell, that is RBC, WBC and platelets. So in this particular video we are going to study about circulation. Okay, so blood circulation. What is blood circulation? The flow of blood in the body is called blood circulation. Flow of blood in the body is called blood circulation, and the blood circulation is of two types. First is the open blood circulation, and second is closed blood circulation. The closed blood circulation itself is of two types, that is the single blood circulation and double blood circulation. So let us study about them one by one. So first thing is that it's open blood circulation. When we call open blood circulation, that is when the blood after being pumped from the heart flows in the body cavity and between the cells, between the tissue, then it is called open blood circulation. And open blood circulation is found in all the insects, snails, shells, and starfish. So that is all the invertebrates in which the blood circulation is found, except for the annelids. The blood circulation is always of open blood circulation. Okay, so this is the example of open blood circulation. Here you can see the open blood circulation in insect. I'll show you the path. See, these are the hearts: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the hearts, and the blood enters into these heart through the ostia. There are small pores here and from the end, and then the blood is pumped by one heart to another, to another, to another, and another, and the same way it goes on moving from the back to front, and then it is left into the cavity, and this cavity is known as hemocoel, and then it goes to each and every cell, and then from there it enters through the ostia back into the heart, and from behind it enter into heart. So in all this reason, the blood is flowing in the tissues directly without any blood capillaries or blood vessels. So this type of system is called open blood circulation, where the blood is not flowing in the blood vessels but it is flowing openly in the tissues. So this type of system is called open blood circulation. In the open blood circulation, the advantage is that the blood is coming directly in contact to the cells, but the disadvantage is that the pressure is less. Blood vessels can maintain the good pressure, but here, since the blood vessels are not there, the pressure is not maintained. And second disadvantage is that in case of any break anywhere the body ruptures, then the blood will flow out, and the pressure will be decreased. So that is why it is not a very good system. However, it is found in all the lower organism. Okay, now let us talk about the closed blood circulation. So in the closed blood circulation, there is a heart, there are blood vessels, that is the arteries, veins, and the capillaries. They all are connected with one another, and the blood remain confined in all these only. Blood never comes out into the tissues. The thing which comes out in the tissue is called lymph. Okay? So here the blood is totally remain confined in the blood vessels. So let us talk about it. That is, the closed blood circulation is the one in which the blood remain confined in the heart and the blood vessels. Okay? It never comes out in the space between the tissues. And this type of blood circulatory system is found in all the vertebrates like fish, in the birds, in the mammals, in the frogs, and all. Okay. In the single blood circulation, now the closed blood circulation is of two types. The single blood circulation is the one in which the heart is there and the blood vessels are there, and the blood in each circulation passes from heart only one time. There is the one in which in one complete circulation the blood passes through heart only once. Let us see the example of a fish. So suppose we start from here. So the blood is flowing from here. Blood is passing through gills, and then it is going into all over the body, and then after distributing the body, deoxygenated blood is collected by it and it comes into the heart. So this is the heart, and the blood in one complete circulation passes from heart only one time. So this type of circulation is called single blood circulation. The single blood circulation is a disadvantage because in this the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood come flows together. So there is no separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Okay, so this is what the disadvantage is. In the closed blood circulation is the one in which a closed blood circulation in which the double blood circulation is the advantage that in one complete circulation blood passes from heart two times. Once it goes to, suppose I make a drawing here, diagram of heart. So suppose just for the sake of understanding we consider this is a heart. Okay, and these are the four chambers. This is the tube which is going to the lungs, and this is the tube aorta which is taking the blood to all the parts of the body, and here the pulmonary vein and the vena cava. Okay, so these are the various parts. Now what you can see is here that the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle goes to aorta, and from aorta it goes to each and every part of the body, gives its oxygen, collect the carbon dioxide, vena cava it become, and then it brings its blood to the right atrium. From right atrium it goes to right ventricle, from right ventricle it goes to pulmonary artery, and then to the lungs, and after oxygenation again it return back to the left atrium. So here the two circulations are there. There are two complete circulations are there which we can understand in this diagram. One is the pulmonary circulation. So this is the pulmonary circulation. This is the pulmonary circulation in which the blood is passing from the right ventricles to the lungs. After getting oxygenation, it is left reaching back to the left atrium. So this is left atrium, this is left ventricle, this is right ventricle, and this is right atrium. So left atrium it comes, from left atrium it goes to left ventricle, and then oxygenated blood is distributed to each and every part of the body. After deoxygenation is coming back to right atrium. So this is how the blood is passing from heart two times. Once it is passing at the left hand side, others it passing into the right hand side. The deoxygenated blood comes in the left hand side, right hand side, and the oxygenated blood come in the left hand side. So that is how the double circulation is there. Now double circulation has two parts, that is the pulmonary circulation. Now pulmonary circulation, the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle is carried by the pulmonary artery to the lungs, and here it get oxygenated. After oxygenation it is carried by the pulmonary vein to left atrium. So if we make the ray diagram, or if we make the what you call line diagram, we can understand the right ventricle where the deoxygenated blood is there, which is carried by the pulmonary artery, and it opens into lungs where it get oxygenated, and from pulmonary vein it comes to left atrium, and from left atrium it will go to left ventricle, and from left ventricle it goes to all over the body. So the path of systemic circulation is left ventricle where it is oxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood from the left ventricle goes to body tissue and get deoxygenated and then brought back to the right atrium. So this is how the double circulation is there, in which in one complete circulation blood passes from heart two times. One is once it goes to the lungs, get oxygenated, then it goes to all over the body and gives supplies oxygen and become deoxygenated. Okay, advantage of double blood circulation. The double blood circulation has got one of the most important advantage, that each and every part of the body get enough of oxygen. So in the double blood circulation, the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood remain totally isolated and there is no mixing take place. Hence, the better supply of oxygen is received by each and every part of the body. Okay, so that is the advantage, and this is why the birds and the mammals and other active organisms have double blood circulation. Okay, blood pressure, it is the pressure exerted by blood on the walls of artery is called blood pressure. Now to understand it, we see this diagram. Suppose this is the heart. Just for the sake of understanding, we are considering this is a heart. Okay, now this is aorta. And when the ventricles contract, this is the ventricles. So when the ventricle contracts, it supply a large amount of blood into the arteries, and the arteries swells up, and the blood is exerting a greater pressure on the walls of arteries here. And that is why its value on this particular part of the artery, or rather all the parts of artery where this blood will go in a bunch, there its value will be high, and its numerically its value is 120 millimeter of Hg. Okay, 120 millimeter of Hg. Okay, now when the heart relaxes, next steps, the heart will be relaxed, and the ventricles, there will be no blood here. So there will be no blood here, and there will be no pressure or less pressure here, and the value will come down to 80 mm of Hg. Okay, so this is how the blood pressure works. So pressure applied by the blood on the walls of artery is called blood pressure, and it has two values. The one is the greater value, that is called systolic blood pressure, and the second is diastolic blood pressure. So this systolic blood pressure क्या है? The blood pressure pressure applied by the blood on the walls of artery is called blood pressure. It has two values. First is systolic blood pressure. Systolic blood pressure is the one when the ventricles are contracted and they pump large amount of blood in the arteries, which exert a great force on the walls. Okay, since there is large amount of blood altogether in the arteries, a certain part of the artery, so it apply a greater force, and the value is 120 millimeter of mercury level. Then the next is diastolic blood pressure. When the ventricles are relaxed, the blood supplied is less, hence they apply less force on the walls of artery, and its value is 80 mm of Hg. Okay. Okay. The device which is used for measuring the blood pressure is called sphygmomanometer. Now, sphygmomanometer is actually used on the upper arm. Suppose this is the arm, someone's arm. यहाँ पे हाथ बना देते हैं इसका. Extra fingers हो गए. Some fingers are extra. Remove it. Let us draw it again neatly. 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Okay, now this is the place where the cloth balloon like structure is tied, in which the air is filled using a balloon. Okay, so when it is compressed, the air goes in it, and it is filled with air, and it exerts a greater force on the walls of the arteries. Okay, muscles have arteries, so arteries will be constricted, and there is a device used, a meter, where the mercury level is there and it shows the readings. So when the air is filled, it fills with the air, and it exerts a pressure on the walls of arteries, and the arteries will be contracted, and the blood flow will stop. If you put your finger here, you will feel no pulse. Then slowly the pressure is released, and the pressure comes up to that particular level, which is what you call systolic blood pressure, greater pressure. Then the first pulse will be felt here. That is called systolic blood pressure, which should be 120 mm of Hg for healthy person. Okay. And when slowly the pressure is released, the second heartbeat is also heard. That is called diastolic blood pressure. So this is how the two values are measured. And why this device is used in the upper arm, because here we know that the arteries are placed between the muscles, and this is the particular place where the muscles can be easily compressed. Next is lymph. What is lymph? When the blood comes with the higher pressure in the capillaries, the walls of the capillaries are very thin. And they cannot withhold the blood, and lot of substances along with the plasma comes out into the tissues, and this is now known as tissue fluid. And tissue fluid is important in order to provide fluid medium to the tissues, which is necessary for all the living cells. Then it provides nutrients, it provides oxygen, it provides hormones, etc. to each and every tissue. It also has got WBC in it. Okay, and the WBC will help in killing the foreign bodies and preventing us from the various type of infection. When it is collected back, so it goes into the lymphatic duct, and the lymphatic duct collects it, then it is called lymph. As long as it is in the tissue, it is called tissue fluid. When it is entered into the lymphatic duct, it called lymph, and the lymphatic duct will open into heart again, and the content will be maintained. If you see the difference between the lymph and the blood, it goes like this. First, the color, the blood is red in color because of the presence of RBC, whereas the lymph do not have RBC. Second, found in the blood is found in the blood vessels and heart, whereas the lymph is found between the between the tissue and lymphatic ducts. Third, RBCs. So blood have RBC, blood lymph does not have it. Point number 4, direction of flow. The blood flows from the heart to the tissue and from tissue to the heart, one in both the direction in the circular path, whereas lymph always flow from the tissues to heart only. No, lymph doesn't flow from the heart to the tissues. Point number 5, quantity. The blood is more in quantity, around 5.5 liters, whereas lymph is less in quantity because it is filtered from blood itself. Next, origin. The blood has its own origin. All the cells come from the bone marrow, whereas the water and other things come from the digestive system, whereas the lymph is filtered from the blood. Point number 7, functions. So all the functions of the blood which we have studied, except for the blood clotting, all the functions are actually done by the lymph. So it itself is not doing any function. All the functions are done by lymph. So the lymph is more important than the blood, but lymph cannot be there unless blood is there. Okay, so that's are the differences. Okay, functions of lymph. We have to study that what do it do. So the functions are, that is, it provides liquid medium to all the cells. It helps in giving oxygen, collecting carbon dioxide back, provide nutrients, hormones and other substances to the tissues, and the WBCs which are there, they will provide immunity by killing the germs, and the last, it helps in the absorption of fat in the from the intestine. So that's all about the lymph functions, and that's with this we come to the end of this particular part of the circulation. And I suppose I think that this video was some use to you. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. You can write all your comment, good or bad, in comment box. If you find any problem, you can ask it in the description, in the comment box, and your problems will be answered. Okay, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe it. Thank you.